no doubt, I think England have outplayed us throughout this series in all facets of the game. I think they've showed us certainly discipline and execution with the ball to be able to bowl in that one area for a long period of time and make our batters play a false shot. And I think with the bat, they've showed us how to go on and make big scores when you get a start. I think it's probably the two areas throughout this series that we've been extremely inconsistent. You know, certain guys have been able to take 5-wicket hauls or make centuries, but certainly not enough to win a big series.
Is there a crisis in Australian cricket?
I don't think there's a crisis in Australian cricket at all. I think we're very disappointed, as every Australian that supports this great game is. I think we need a lot of improvement in our game, in all areas of our game, but I do believe we've got the talent and the potential in that change room to do it. I think we've seen throughout this series that, you know, guys have stood up at different times, individuals have stood up at different times, but we're just way too inconsistent, like I say, to win a big series. And I think that's what England have showed. As a team, they have outplayed us. So not necessarily one or two individuals. As a team, they have outplayed us.
Richard, where does the buck stop, mate?
Say again, sorry?
Where does the buck stop?
Well, I think we obviously, you know, this is probably as close to rock bottom as it gets. I think the Australian public and fans can certainly only see us going forward. I know as players, you know, we feel the disappointment right now, but we see, we do see potential. We do think we've got, you know, some talent in that change, and we do think we are better cricketers than what we're showing at the moment. We have no excuses though. I'm certain there's going to be people, you know, the Cricket Australia board will discuss the result of this series. The selectors will discuss the result of this series, and every individual, as always, sits in the same shoes. We haven't performed as well as we need to be a winning Australian cricket team. I think 100% we have to learn from what England did this series. I think their performance with not only bat and ball but in the field was outstanding for a 5-test series, and I think that's, you know, there's a great starting point to be able to turn up every day, day in, day out for 5-test matches and perform as well as they did. It takes a lot of mental strength, takes a lot of discipline, takes a lot of planning before the series. I think they've done that very well. I think their bowlers have executed their plans outstanding to all of our batters. And I think their batters have cashed in when we haven't bowled in the right areas. So I think we do need to look at how England have played throughout this series and take a lot of notes from that.
Is this your lowest moment as an Australian?
Probably. Unfortunately, I've lost a few Ashes series now, and they're all pretty bad. But being the vice captain of the Australian team and having such a disappointing series myself with the bat, it probably is.
John? Michael, it's obviously a possibility that you'll become permanent captain for the next series. One, do you want the job? And two, if you do become captain, are you confident in the coaching and selection staff that they can support you as you need to be supported?
Yeah, first and foremost, Ricky Ponting is our captain, is the Australian Test and one-day cricket captain, and I don't see that changing. You know, that's certainly nothing to do with me or not my call. Like I say, every single player, I'm certain the board and the selectors will talk about, but I still see Ricky Ponting as my leader, and until such day anybody has to worry about that, I don't think we need to talk about it.
Tom?
Michael, you said that England have outplayed you as a team, but do you think the result of the series reflects the ability of the individuals on your side?
That's a very tough question. I'd like to say no, because I do believe we have a lot of talent in that change room, and I believe we've seen that throughout the series. We've seen guys stand up and score runs and take wickets and do something special. We've seen that from individual players. So I'm going to say individually, I think we are as gifted as any team that I've been a part of. But there's obviously a lot of areas of our game that aren't good enough at the moment, that need improvement. Yeah.
Michael, there's been a bit of chopping and changing from the Australian selectors. I think only 5 of your guys played on 5 tests. Has that been unhelpful?
Well, unfortunately, when you're not winning, you try and change things to get a different result, and I think that's probably what the selectors have done. Yeah, I think, you know, we all have to start somewhere, So when you make your debut, you get an opportunity, and I think, you know, Usman's a great example of what I'm talking about. A young guy comes in, makes his debut, looks like he has got a lot of talent, and I know he's going to have a lot of success for Australian cricket going forward. And if we didn't, you know, if Ricky didn't get injured, he might never have got that chance. So, you know, things happen for a reason, and I do believe that, you know, even young Steve Smith coming in and batting today showed the mental strength, the courage of a young player. So I believe the talent is there. We're just going to have to get out of bed every single day and try and get better. We have to work our absolute backsides off because we have another Test series not too far away against Sri Lanka, in really tough conditions, and we have to be 100% prepared for that. And we're going to have to be at the top of our games individually to perform well over there. I'm retiring from international 2020 cricket. Yeah, it's and again, I guess, you know, looking back on this series, my Test cricket isn't where I want it at the moment. So I guess that gives me the opportunity now to focus wholly and solely on Test and one-day cricket, and to use that time to play more domestic or first-class cricket for New South Wales and become a better Test player. I guess for me, I've always said Test cricket is the ultimate for me, and this gives me that opportunity. In saying that, obviously my 2020 performances haven't been that great, so it made my decision easier. But yeah, my main focus is to help, well, firstly to become a better Test cricketer, and then to obviously help the team as the vice captain, do whatever I can to help this team turn it around.